Well, that's why I'm calling. What else can we do?
He needs an identity.
What are you thinking?
Business cards. If anyone asks, he'll say he's representing a firm in New York.
Won't your firm tie back to Disney?
No, he won't be with Donovan and Partners. He'll be William Lund of Burke & Burke.
Who the hell's Burke & Burke?
The law firm one floor down. I'll speak to them. If anyone from Florida tries to reach Lund at his New York office, they'll go along. And I'll make sure Lund is notified of all communications out of the Burke office.
Well, thank you for this. Walt and I really appreciate everything the firm is doing to help with this project.
What project, Dick?
During World War II, William Wild Bill Donovan worked with the OSS, a precursor to the CIA, to spearhead intelligence operations in Europe. After the war, Wild Bill became a lawyer in New York and founded Donovan, Leisure, Newton, and Irvine. For Project Future, the team of lawyers at Donovan's firm knew just the man for the job, a Miami lawyer and another former OSS spy named Paul Helliwell. Paul Helliwell didn't look like a master spy. With his slick-back hair and dark, thick-rimmed glasses, he looked like any other Florida businessman with a suit and a briefcase. But he was anything but. His work with the CIA continued well into the 1960s. And in the spring of 1964, the team at Donovan, Leisure, Newton, and Irvine sent an associate to meet with Paul Helliwell at his Miami office. There, he briefed Helliwell in. Disney was building a secret destination resort in Florida. Walt needed Helliwell to scout properties on the sly. Massive properties, 7,000 to 10,000 acres each. Helliwell understood the need for secrecy, but he did have one recommendation: to bring in a local real estate agency. While the Disney rep flew back to California to get permission to expand the team, Helliwell went to work. He was careful not to tell anyone who he was working with or what he was working on, and he went to great lengths to ensure that the details of his top-secret mission didn't find their way to the press. And as Paul Helliwell began to set up a series of shell corporations to buy the land, Buzz Price sent his associate William Lund to Florida. Lund arrived in Tampa on December 9, 1963, with a fake identity and fake Burke & Burke business cards to back it up. Lund's mission was simple. Walt was trying to choose between two Central Florida locations, Ocala and Orlando. Lund needed to get more details to help him decide, while also maintaining absolute secrecy. So Lund's first objective was to take Helliwell's advice and rope in a local real estate agency into the project. Based on a recommendation from a local banker in the know, Lund zeroed in on a company called Florida Ranch Lands, or the FRL. The day he arrived, Lund cold-called the FRL and spoke to an agent named David Nusbickle, who invited Lund to drop by their offices. At the meeting, Lund played his part well. After slipping Nusbickle his Burke & Burke business card, Lund explained that he represented a confidential client who was interested in purchasing large parcels of land in the Central Florida area. Nusbickle assured Lund that the FRL was well equipped to help his anonymous client, and the two men agreed to meet again. But Nusbickle's curiosity was piqued. He asked his in-house lawyer to look into the mysterious Mr. Lund from New York. The lawyer reported back that Burke & Burke was a legitimate firm, and thanks to Paul Helliwell, Lund's cover held up. On his December trip to Florida, Lund drove all over Ocala and Orlando, two areas that looked a lot alike. Both were flat and largely uninhabited. In 1963, more people lived in the Los Angeles area surrounding Disneyland than the entire state of Florida, much less these two remote patches. Walt wanted Disney World to be the tourist destination for the entire East Coast, a total destination resort, which made access critical to the park's success. In January of 1964, not long after his trip to Florida, William Lund and Buzz Price met with Walt and other Project Future team members. In Conference Room 2E at Disney headquarters, they went over the findings of their research, and the result was clear. Orlando had won the day. Later, when asked what drew him to Orlando, Walt answered simply, the freeway. What a difference just 2 years had made. Because back in 1961, Buzz Price had prepared a report for Walt that claimed that the Ocala area was the best location for a theme park because of the large number of out-of-state visitors who drove near the city annually. But by December of 1963, two major highways in the Orlando area were close to completion: Interstate 4 and the extension of the Florida Turnpike. These new stretches of asphalt made Orlando the clear winner. And so Walt's team of researchers, lawyers, and former spies laid the groundwork for Project Future. The Disney team brought the local real estate company FRL into the project's confidence and used them to secure the land. But as the top-secret project moved closer and closer to the finish line, rumors began to swirl. Locals whispered about the secret identity of the mysterious businessman who was buying up massive tracts of property in Central Florida. At first, these rumors traveled word of mouth, but it wouldn't be long before they found their way into black and white. It's summer 1965 at the offices of Florida Ranchlands, or FRL, a Florida real estate company. Nelson Boyce, the president of FRL, sits across his desk from a potential client who walked in off the street. Typically, FRL represents big companies and big buyers, not random walk-ins. But a customer is a customer, so Boyce spreads a map of Central Florida out on his desk and does his best to be polite.
Well, thank you for coming in, sir.
Well, thank you for making time to speak with me. Of course, at FRL, we aim to please. So, Mr. Boyce, I'm dying to know, what do you know about the mystery buyer, the ones who's been buying up all the land in Central Florida?
Well, only what I've read in the papers.
Boyce is lying. FRL represents the mystery buyer. Although until recently, Boyce didn't know he was working for Walt Disney. He was kept in the dark until he earned Disney's trust. Now that he's been fully brought in, he understands that for Walt Disney, secrecy is paramount.
So you don't represent the mystery buyer, then?
The blunt question catches Boyce by surprise. He proceeds with caution.
Where did you say you were from, friend?
California.
Ah, you're a long way from home. I was in Florida on business. Just flew in from Tampa. I was looking out the window on my flight in, and I couldn't help but notice how beautiful this area is.
Well, that it is. Anything in particular of interest?
Well, there was one piece of land that caught my eye. I'm interested in buying right about here.
The man taps his finger on a parcel of land right next to the proposed Disney site. Boyce eyes the man suspiciously. There's no way this is a coincidence. This man is either a land speculator looking to get rich off Disney's plan, or he's a reporter looking to blow the lid off of it. But either way, Boyce is determined to play it cool.
Yes, plenty of land available in these parts. What's so special